Hi guys, this is Vidas.
And Usha.
Let's start episode number 80 of Ask Vidas and Osha podcast. Today's question was sent by Ugochukwu, and he wants to know about enharmonic transposition. He writes, why do I need to know the rules for enharmonic transposition if the notes sound the same? So Osha,
Oh my god.
this is a question about harmony. And first, let's explain for people what is enharmonic transposition.
Well, in general, enharmonic means that it sounds the same, but it's written in a different manner. For example, F sharp and G flat. That's the same note on the keyboard, but it's different, in a score. But when question like this rises, I just would like to ask Ugochukwu if he knows, for example, the circle of fifths.
It's hard to tell. I think he doesn't.
But
Maybe he has heard about the concept, but if you tell him, please, tell us exact order of keys, right? I wouldn't count on it.
Well, if you don't know what the enharmonic means and you know how to do like enharmonic modulation, it means that theoretically you cannot not realize the music you're playing, especially if you are playing like romantic music and modern music. Because look what happens in the circle of fifths if you cannot change, keys enharmonically. You go, let's say, from C major, which has 0 accidentals. When you go to a fifth above, you have G major with 1 sharp, and then D major with 2 sharps, A major with 3 sharps, E major with 4 sharps. Then you go to B major with 5 sharps, and then you come to the F sharp major with 6 sharps. In this place you should have to change enharmonically to G flat, and then you would start moving into the direction of the flats by omitting one of the flats. But if you wouldn't do that, so instead of D flat major, you would receive C sharp major and then G sharp major.
How many sharps do you have with C sharp major?
You have 7, and that's the most you can have in music.
Mm-hmm.
Because other keys, other sharp keys from moving up from C sharp major would have double sharps, and we don't use that. We don't create keys like this, in the real music. You could do that theoretically, but you could have the key of G sharp major, but it would have 6 sharps and 1 double sharp.
Mm-hmm.
And then D sharp major would have like 5 sharps and 2 double sharps. That's artificial keys. We don't use those in music. So, for example, yes, F sharp and G flat sounds the same, but we have completely different musical meaning.
You have to specify a little bit that G sharp and G flat and G sharp, F sharp and G flat
yes.
sound the same on the keyboard that is tuned in a equal temperament.
Yes, but let's not go now to the historical temperaments. Just focus on this, on the equal temperament. For example, look, let's say if you are in the key of, well, G minor, for example, and you have like a dominant 7th chord, D, F sharp, A, and C. Could you write in a music like G flat? No, because it would not make any sense.
Why?
Well, because, in the key of G minor, it would be like first scale degree lowered, and we don't do that.
Why?
That's inappropriate. That simply, you could not tell in math like that 2 plus 2 equals 3 because it equals 4. So this is the same. There are just like a general rules.
Oh, it's like sun revolving around the moon or the earth.
Yes.
Or vice versa, I always forget.
And for example, if you have an interval like C to F, that's a fourth, yes, and you invert them, you have F and C, that's the fifth. That's how it works. That's just a math, and the same, with enharmonic things.
Is it a rule or a law
I would say that's a law.
in tonal music?
Yes, in
We
tonal
have to
music.
specify which
Yes,
kind
in
of
tonal music. But look, that tonal music, it goes all the way from Middle Ages to, like 20th century. And even in 20th century,
Mhm.
most of composers, still bases their music on, on these laws.
There was, or we can say still is, but a number of composers who don't adhere to the rules of tonal harmony, right? And they treat any pitch of the chromatic scale as a tonic.
Well, yes, there are
Like-
exceptions, but for example, look, if you have composition, let's say, which home key is D flat major, and if composer will start to confuse this key D flat major with, for example, C sharp major that are enharmonically the same, yes,
Mhm.
you just will not be able to learn it.
It's like sometimes when I play a composition or improvisation on my keyboard, which is connected to the computer through Sibelius program, let's say, and notes appear on the screen right away, with weird syncopations perhaps. I have to clean it up later. But what I improvise could be written down right instantly. And if I play in some kind of mode, tonal mode, major, minor, very simple and understandable, sometimes certain flat or certain sharp gets mixed up with Sibelius, and instead of D sharp, they will write E flat. Suddenly, in let's say D minor, piece, instead of D sharp, I would get E flat. It's weird. D flat is not present in D minor. So
Yes,
that's
yes.
that's why we need to know what fits together, what works together in each key, so that you could respell it enharmonically if you need it.
Sure. And because we are organists, usually the texture that we play is so thick, it's based on a functional harmony, where you cannot avoid knowledge of chords and knowing what fits together and what does not fit. So then it makes a big difference if you are having F sharp or G flat. And while learning new pieces, the more theoretically about composition, about how the pieces put together, about all those chords, the easier it will be for you to learn it. And when I receive question like this, I would suggest for that person really take music very seriously.
Mm-hmm.
You really need it, because otherwise, I don't think that if you are theoretically well educated, I don't think that such a question would rise at all. Usually, kids in my school in like 6th or 7th grade may ask questions like this.
Teenagers who want to challenge you,
Yes, yes, yes.
who think they're smarter than you.
That's right.
Great. So guys, we can recommend, of course, starting with our basic chord workshops and learning circle of keys and any other courses in our music theory and or harmony collection. But this really helps you to grow as an organist in the long run, right? You will know how the piece is put together. You will know what the notes on the music sheet mean, what composer was thinking when he or she created that masterpiece that you're playing right now.
That's true. Because, in life you can teach different things to different, creatures. For example, a bear can ride a bike, you know. I have seen it in the circus.
Yeah.
But, it's not the same with human beings. We have brains, and we can make decisions and right decisions. And we can, teach other people to ride a bike. I don't think a bear could teach, other bears to ride a bike.
Exactly.
So I think knowing what you are doing and understanding things is, it's what separates us, from other mammals. So just, use your potential.
Yeah, and teach other people how to ride a bike. Excellent. Please, guys, send us more of your questions. And remember, when you practice,
Miracles happen.